What's up, you beautiful people? Welcome to another video. So I was sitting down a couple days ago with a client, and we were doing a full half day breakdown of the business. He was doing about 3 million a year right now, and he's trying to scale to 10 million. And what I wanted to share off the back of that conversation is actually what is the biggest difference that I see in businesses that are doing about 100K per month versus businesses that are doing a million a month, which was this guy's goal. He's like, how do we get to $12 million a year? And or not actually 12 million wasn't his goal, but he wanted to do over 10 million. So close enough. We'll round up. The biggest single difference, and this is even if you're not at 100K yet per month, this is really helpful for you to understand as a framework. So you can start to see what are the glass ceilings that you're going to inevitably butt up against. It's better to see it before you get to it so you can plan accordingly and then maybe bust through rather than getting your face squished against it and being like, why can't I break through? Right. And then trying to solve it. So here's the biggest difference is that at 100K per month, you are a doer within the business. In fact, you are one of the primary doers within the business. So you are still probably doing a lot of marketing. You're probably doing a lot of sales. You're probably doing a lot of delivery. You are a key and integral part of that machine. And you have a team, right? You probably at 100K per month have a team of maybe somewhere between maybe 2 and 10 people, right? Depending on how effective or what kind of business model that you're running. But you're starting to manage a team. But here's the thing is it's a team of doers like you. You are a doer and they are doers. They are doing things inside the business. So you got your guy who does the marketing. You got your guy that does the sales. You got your guy that does the fulfillment. And you are also doing all those things alongside them, but you are managing them. You are managing a team of doers. And this is very different than the business that's doing $1 million a month, because at $1 million a month, you are probably no longer the most important cog in the machine. In fact, if you are the most important cog in the machine, as you're trying to get to $1 million a month, your business is going to hit the glass ceiling of your potential and your ability, your capacity, right? So you start to build systems so that other people can do the things that you were doing. Now you are still doing things, but you're not doing nearly as much as you were doing. Now here's the really important thing. Is that as you grow from 100,000 a month to $1 million a month, you're no longer managing a team of doers. You're managing a team of managers. And those managers are managing the team of doers. Because you can only have so many direct reports, right? At the end, most organizations recommend that you don't have more than 5 to 7 direct reports. And that is a good overall hierarchy to think about, is that nobody should ever have more than 5 direct reports working underneath of them. So if in the beginning, it's just you and your first 5 employees, you can manage all of them. You direct them. But then as you grow in this, you usually hit this at around $3 million a year, $2 to $3 million a year is when you first start introducing your first layer of middle management. Managers that report to you, but that ultimately manage the doers, not necessarily the activity that's being executed. And what this means is that you are now one layer removed between you and the people executing the things that make your business work. They no longer report to you. And so there's a layer where the message is both coming down from the top, from you down to the boots on the ground, and from the boots on the ground coming up to you. That message gets diluted and it gets slowed down because it has to go through another individual, the middle manager, right? So now you have the sales manager who manages the team of sales reps. You have the customer service manager who manages the team of customer service reps. You have the the customer fulfillment, right? Like, now you're managing through the managers. And it's at this point that you need to start thinking about culture. Because in the beginning, you don't need to think about culture all that much when you're at $100,000 per month. I see people, and I made this mistake. We made this mistake actually at Escape. We focused way too much on culture before we ever broke $1 million. Way too much, because we were so concerned. We had read Good to Great, and we had read Start with Why. We had read all these books that are like, you have to have your vision, your mission, your values, and like build the culture from day one, blah, 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 blah. No, in the beginning, your goal is to get to $1 million as quickly as possible. That's it. Like, and you don't need to worry about the culture. The culture culture is an extension of you, right? The culture is what people do when you're not around. But when you're at $100,000 a month, you're around. Like the way you operate, the things that you think, the way you show up, the way you act, like that's the culture. And the team's they're either gonna have that or they're not gonna have that, and you're gonna get sick of them. They're gonna fire them, right? But as you introduce that layer of middle management, you're no longer day to day interacting with the people executing, doing the sales call, doing the fulfillment calls, right? They're disconnected from you. And so your culture, of the culture of you, gets diluted. And so you need to start identifying, codifying, and communicating what is our system of values and standards by which we run this company. And the reason that we have that, the reason that a company needs to have values and standards at that point is because you're not in the room 90% of the time that person is doing things. So they need to have a system for understanding what to do in different situations. And so this was actually the whole crux of the half day that I did with my client, which is, okay, we have our vision, you have your missions, and you have your values. But if your values do not translate into actual behaviors that the person on the ground can execute to stay in alignment with the values, then it does not help, right? It's not enough just to say we have integrity or we are hardworking. Like if they cannot translate that into a behavior, such as integrity means that whenever there's any doubt about who was wrong in a situation, we take the blame and we make it right. So if the customer comes back and says, hey, this didn't work, this didn't do the thing that you said it would, and we're like, no, it does, but like you just didn't do it. No, we err on the side of the customer and we make it right because we have integrity. Or hard work is, what does it mean to work hard? Well, it doesn't just mean punching out at the end of the day. It means staying until the job is done, but not just staying until your job is done, staying until the job is done. And everything that's happening inside the business is our job, right? And so like, how do you translate the values into behaviors? And if you can't do that, your business is going to have a really hard time scaling from $100,000 a month to $1 million a month. And that right there is the biggest difference. In the beginning, you are the doer managing a team of doers. So personal productivity is king. The more that you can be productive, because the proportion of work that you do within the business is massive, any incremental improvement that you can make to your productivity is going to have big dividends to the business, right? But as you scale to $1 million a month, your personal productivity is less relevant. What matters is your ability to make a team of people productive. And that is now occurring through a sub-layer of managers. So that's where culture, that's where values, that's where all that corporate gobbledygook starts to come in. And it's a good problem to have. But if you are not there yet, then just make a mental note, make a pin, put a pin in it. And when you get there, you're going to recognize this and you're going to go, oh, that's what Anthony was talking about. And then you're going to circle back and you're going to say, hey, Anthony, can you help me break through 10 million? I'll say, I sure can. But did you know that if you're not even at $1 million yet, we can also help you? So check the description. There's a little thing in there. Take a look, see all the ways that we can help you. Otherwise, just hit subscribe. Come back tomorrow. And that's all I got.